guys, welcome to another episode of TraumaPondHQ. I'm Olivia, and this is where we sit by the pond and have a little chat. Now, I'm going to be honest, I always start off with a full honesty, like upfront thing, whatever that means. I have been very, very sick the last couple of days. I'm feeling okay now, like I've gotten to a certain level. I've had a lot of cough syrup today. So this is going to be interesting because I didn't actually look at what was in that cough syrup, and I don't know what's in it. I feel like I've had over the counter legalized, you know. Anyway, this has been a really hard episode to try and record today because so much has been happening around my house with all the neighbors. So wow, I'm going into oversharing, but I really wanted this episode to be so much better than the last one because I know the last one was so full of horrible emotion. It was a really hard-hitting topic, and I feel like this time we're going to have a good one. Even though it's trauma, it's going to be related to that in a certain way because I reckon that we've been able to harness a superpower from the trauma that we experience, especially if you've experienced it from a very young age. So by that, what I mean is we have ended up going through horrific experiences, and as we come out of those experiences, we end up either developing hyper empathy or zero empathy. And the scale goes either way. So the fact that if you can actually make it from horrific trauma and get to the empathize like side of the scale, I think that we do end up honing into a certain superpower that a lot of people will never be able to experience. And those are the ones that I'm going to talk about. So it started off, actually, I was listening to Mel Robbins' podcast. I absolutely love her, and I will talk about her all day long. And I'm really sorry. I am going to have a couple of coughs every now and again. I'm really sorry. I don't know if that cough syrup is actually doing anything other than potentially making me high. I don't know if I should. One of the things I was listening to on Mel Robbins' podcast that was from last week was Jenny Driver. She's like the world leading expert in body language. And she said that one of the main things that, like, there's only 3 types of people that are good at body language straight away. Never mind the ones that are trained in it every day, like this CESI, like as body language experts, or people who have had a stroke on the left side of the brain and the right side has to kick in. But anyone who has ever been abused. And that does not mean or like physical abuse. This is physical, mental, emotional, any kind of abuse can give you the superpower of being able to understand people's body language, which I 100% agree in. Because there's one major thing that I've been able to understand, and that is last time I was back home, I could smell in the air when my mom was going to go into one of her rages. Like it's one of those crazy things that you can actually pick up on when the narcissist is going to go into one of her rages. I could feel it. Like every part of my body was like, there's a storm coming. You feel like like a tornado. You can smell it in the air. It's like a future prediction. You know when it's coming. And thankfully, all of it went away. All this negative feeling went away when my dad said that he was going to come on this drive with me and my mom. So I saved by the bell. I didn't have any of those negative feelings the second that my dad said that he was going to come with us. So that is one of the superpowers that you end up getting. You can feel it whenever something's going to happen. So if you're in work and you have a narcissistic boss, you can tell even before the boss is at the door what kind of a day it's going to be based on just your high senses. And I actually watched this from one of the girls that at the coffee shop that I go to. They've got a highly narcissistic owner, and we were sitting down talking one day, and she just gets up and looks outside to see if he's actually pulled up. She could feel him, like she could sense him coming. She knew he had just pulled up. She had to get up, go to the door, and check to see if his car pulled in. That's the power that we have. So there is, I don't know if it's a good thing. When I'm thinking about it, I don't know if it's a good thing, but it's a crazy superpower that we have, that we can just like, it's like a Scooby-Doo effect. I think that's what we should call it. I think all of us empaths should get together and we should give these all good names. The Scooby-Doo effect. Okay, I'm going to go with that one. So the other one as well, now this is going to come down to a story that comes from a past life whenever I was with my ex-husband. I'm going to have some water, guys. I'm sorry. But yeah, my ex-husband's best friend, he's a cop. Not a nice guy. Really not a nice guy. I always felt really bad for his now ex-wife. Thankfully, she got away from him. But how things had actually turned out in our relationship was because of him. He really did not like me, especially whenever I had challenged him. So everybody knows you never challenge a narcissist. You never ever do it. And I had challenged him on his character because of how he left his wife. So it's one hell of a story. But because I had challenged him, he had a target on my back. And he was getting to me through my ex-husband, sending him massive emails, sending him letters, sending him like text messages and everything. Like it was like a war zone pretty much from his side. And it got to a point where I was actually able to predict every single thing that he was going to do. Like, and I'm saying this with a smile on my face, like this smirk, because I remember sitting in our living room, me and my ex-husband, we were sitting in our living room, and I said to him, this is what he's doing now, and I can predict that he's going to do this, 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 and this. And within the course of, I think it was 2 months, it was like I had given him the lottery numbers. That's like every single thing that I said he was going to do, he did. What I didn't actually anticipate was that he told my ex-husband exactly everything that he was going to do. Or not what he was going to do, what he had done after he had committed these crimes, I'm going to say, within our relationship. So yeah, I didn't anticipate that he was going to do that, but everything else I was right on. And I actually think he might not just be a narcissist. I think there was something very sadistic about that. So he could have ASPD traits, potentially. I'm shaking talking about it. And just reminding myself of it. But it, I can look back on it now and think that it's actually quite funny. And we're not together anymore, and I could not be happier that I'm actually not with my ex-husband anymore. Because now I have an amazing man. Don't tell him. He doesn't listen to this. It's fine. What is in that cough syrup? What the hell? I'm feeling like I've drugged myself or something. Like it's genuinely. I'm gonna have to check that stuff out. I also haven't really eaten anything today. I think this is a flu-y type situation. But anyway, so now you have a little bit of an idea to the extent of what happens whenever you have been subjected to all of that. The reason why we're able, especially whenever it comes to narcissistic behavior, I'll let you in. Narcissists are unbelievably predictable. Like, they are the most predictable people on the face of the earth. Unlike that helicopter that just decided to fly over my house. I'm really sorry. But yeah, their patterns are set in stone. There's nothing unique about them. You can literally, especially if you have been brought up by a narcissist, you can tell every single step of what a narcissist is going to do. They're not unique, and you're able to predict the future very, very well. So the superpower comes from being able to stand your ground as well, because if you know what's going to happen, like, you can predict it, then you have that time. I mean, I know that this is what's horrible about having these kind of interactions with, for lack of a better word, monsters. It's I'm not going to even say that about any other ones in that category. I think ASPD people are slightly misunderstood in certain ways, and they're not all the same. And borderline personality disorder is definitely misunderstood. But narcissists, if you could see my face right now, it's just like, no, no. There's a lot of inhumanity with them because they can't even take accountability, and even psychopaths and sociopaths can take accountability, which is crazy. Ooh. Oh no, now I feel sick. Maybe it's a cough syrup. I'm so sorry, guys. Um, but I thought I would actually research and see what are all of the things that having this level of empathy can actually do for us, or what exactly are all of our our superpowers within that one particular superpower of being a super empath. So first of all, we have really good intuition. This is something that my partner is really struggling to understand as well. um I, I'll give you a for instance. We're at the gym. There's a guy that's there. I can tell straight away I don't like this guy. There's something about him. It doesn't sit well with me. I feel it in my gut. And my partner's autistic, so he doesn't quite get it on the same level as me. Um, but he ends up getting to know this guy a little bit more. He goes, "I don't see what your problem is. This guy's fine with me." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine. That I will keep my distance because I don't trust him, and that's absolutely fine. I'm allowed to not trust somebody. That's okay." Cut to a couple of cut to a couple of days ago. It turns out that this person, they were supposed to meet up and train together, and my partner gets left high and dry. No warning, no nothing. And then he's like, "Oh, okay." So he's just decided to back out. I was like, "Right, okay, yeah." He decided to back out, but I know why. Part of me is going, I know why. It's because he knows that around you, you're numbered. My partner is very, like, you can respect him straight away. He's one of those people. He just has an aura about him, alpha male aura. It's really nice, and he's got this thing about him where guys just want to be around him, and it's great. But this guy, he's intimidated by him, and I didn't say anything to him, and then he starts to see it on him by himself, and he ends up getting mouthy with the manager at the gym and all that sort of stuff. And I was like, why are you surprised? Like, my partner comes to me and he says, "Yeah, it turns out he is an actual jerk." And I'm like, "Yeah, I told you that months ago. I didn't need to get to know him. You had to see it for yourself." And I do want to be held accountable. I do want to be wrong. I always want to be proved wrong in these scenarios. Prove me wrong. I'm waiting for it. But when I feel it in my gut and I still want to be proved wrong, I'm always proved right. So that is a very unfortunate superpower that we have. And there is a kryptonite to that because we can't see the positive. We want to see the positive, but we can't. And that's kind of the kryptonite view of it. We don't see the positive in anything, which is a little bit unfortunate. But we can use it we can use it to our advantage, knowing that our intuition is always right. So there you go. I still find it very weird that I'm doing this, by the way. I'm doing a podcast. This is weird. You can come on if you want. There's also, okay, one of the other things that we have with having this super level of empathy, obviously we feel things. And it's feeling things on a certain level. We don't just feel things like, okay, we'll watch something that like a person getting hurt on YouTube, those funny videos where somebody falls down a flight of stairs or something. I feel that. I feel every single knock that they take. And it doesn't just stop at that. If we see someone that's been emotionally hurt, we feel that as well. We can also feel it when they've been psychologically hurt. You can feel it. You feel it everywhere that that person is feeling it. Um, it's not the most pleasant feeling, especially whenever it's negative. But the plus side is you can feel people's joy. You can feel other people's joy, and you can feel other people's happiness. So I actually kind of like it whenever I see other people get excited about things. I love feeling excitement. It's great. I love going to that coffee shop and seeing that they're excited. You see, it's in my face right now. Where is that the cough syrup? What's wrong with me today? Okay. Why question it? Just enjoy it. I'm really sorry about my chair, by the way. My partner gave me this and I'm really grateful for it, but unfortunately. Oh, that's not too bad now. Oh, maybe just don't move. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Birds. Yeah, it's definitely the cough syrup. Wow. I've got my notes here and I'm getting fully distracted. This is also the ADHD as well. So, the other major things as well, obviously mirroring. I'm reading my notes. Yeah. I have to write everything down. If I don't write everything down, then you're not going to have any idea of what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about half the time. Wow, Olivia. This cough syrup. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Birds. Yeah, it's definitely the cough syrup. Wow. I've got my notes here and I'm getting fully distracted. This is also the ADHD as well. So, the other major things as well, obviously mirroring. I'm reading my notes. Yeah. I have to write everything down. If I don't write everything down, then you're not going to have any idea of what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about half the time. Wow, Olivia. This cough syrup has really controlled your brain. Maybe I shouldn't have done this today. I'm just laughing at how whatever is in this cough syrup, and I don't even think it's working. I need more. I wonder if we can cut half of this out. Yeah, let's just cut it out. Okay. So the other thing is that we have this amazing ability to mirror people. This can also be misconstrued though, because narcissistic people do this as well. Um, so it's kind of a conflicting one because we do mirror people with ADHD. Oops. People with ADHD also mirror as well. And it's definitely one of those things where if we are mirroring, can you trust it? I can't trust someone that's mirroring me because now I'm starting to go, ooh, I can see that you're mirroring. So why are you mirroring? What are you trying to get to? But we more mirror people's emotions. So if someone is very sad, again, you mirror that sadness. It's not a negative trait to be able to mirror someone's sadness or mirror someone's happiness or excitement. You're feeling what they're feeling, and that's okay. There is so the other superpower that they say that we have is the ability to be super fighters. This is definitely something that I could definitely contest to. I'm very much a super fighter for a lot of people, especially people who I care about. But now for me, it's gone on a mass scale. I want to fight for people like beyond this. I want to really find a way of protecting kids, especially kids. I want to find a different way of protecting anyone who is within the system that is not being heard. That's the way that I'm using my superpower. So I mean, I don't know if it's a good thing. Um, I don't know. It's definitely an effect, but we'll see how it goes. I'm just starting out with my ventures and everything. I have big ideas. I've said this many, many times, but we'll see. We'll see what happens in the future, hey? And the other major thing that super empaths have, we are truth tellers. That's something that comes at the expense of our healing. You, especially whenever you have developed this super ability of being an empath, being able to understand people, being able to see things for what they are, we are very dangerous in that aspect. And well, not only dangerous in the aspect of people who are not good people. That's the only way that we can actually put it. So there's a lot of people that have done dirty, not just to me, but to a lot of other people. And as people start to heal and get better, we're definitely going to end up being something that is hard for them to handle. And I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that. I'm saying it with a grin on my face, knowing that there's going to be justice for people as well. And we're very much emotional healers. Like that's something that I've been told an awful lot ever since. I can't even go back how far this is, but I've always been told that I'm very much of a healer person, and it's only just been recently that I've understood what that meant. For me, like even thinking about it, it is actually see what I mean. All I have to do is think about something, get emotional. Knowing that there are people, and this happens to me quite a lot, is that people actually will stop me and talk to me. I feel uncomfortable saying it. It doesn't make me uncomfortable in the moment. I love it when people do feel that they have a sense that they can talk to me, that they can come right to me and start telling me about their day and start being honest and knowing that someone is actually listening to them. There's something that's so warming in that for me. But it makes me uncomfortable talking about it because it sounds like I'm blowing my own trumpet. If there is one thing that I could say though, it also does have the comparison on an emotional on the EQ. Anyway, I feel like this this episode has been brought to you by a bottle of cough syrup. I really hope you've enjoyed the show, because I'm probably not going to know anything about it. I definitely need to go now because I can feel that the coughs are going to come back very, very soon, and they're going to come back thick and fast. So I'm just going to go out really, really quick. Oh, I'm really fighting back because I can feel it happening. I love you. I hope you have an amazing week. And I'm really sorry that this show ended up being the way that it did, but I love you and I'll see you next time. Bye.